So The Last of Us Part 2 reviews are in, and of course they are stunning and brave, as we thought they would be. So, forewarning, I'm not going to get into spoilers in this video. I've done a video talking about the spoilers. So don't worry, if you still want to play this game, you can watch this video and not have to worry about it. I'm not going to spoil anything. I might hint at stuff, but it won't spoil anything. So here's a meme I found with all of the reviews on it. Of course, it's everything you would expect. IGN I knew would be 10 out of 10. A couple that I didn't think would go down this road, but nonetheless, people are raving about it while complaining about it at the same time, which I found really funny because how can it be a 10 out of 10 if something was worth complaining about? Shouldn't it be a 9 at least? An 8? Whatever. The big complaint in this is that the puzzles are terrible. So the reviewer that I really liked said this about it. If you remember in the first game, you moved a lot of dumpsters, grabbed raft at one point for Ellie because she can't swim. You move ladders and put them over things to like walk on to cross like a makeshift bridge. Instead of improving upon the criticisms of that, they decided to just get rid of the puzzles altogether and have you go up to a door and go, oh, it's locked. Let's go to another area and we'll just go around the lock. That seems to be the majority of a lot of the puzzles for the game. Combat gets high ratings. People seem to like the combat a lot, which shouldn't really be a shocker. I thought the combat in the first one was good. A couple reviewers did knock the combat, so take that with a grain of salt. It seems to be subjective. The real surprise, though, is the story is, of course, being hailed as a great thing. And it's tough to say if that's true or not because I haven't played the game yet. The real story is, of course, going to be in user reviews. So going forward, before I get into the rest of this stuff, the review I got the most out of was from Skill Up. This is a really good video. It's about 25 minutes long. If you're looking for a really good in-depth review of the game, I enjoyed this one the most. Maybe that will be different from you. But I watched quite a few reviews from quite a few different YouTubers. This one I thought was the best review video. I would recommend giving this one a look. I'll drop it in the description, actually. Go check it out for yourself. Here are the Metacritic scores. As you can see, there's no user scores yet. Nothing. You will not see those until when I think the game comes out on the 19th. It actually drops. So that's when you'll see those. Those are what I'm really looking forward to. Those are going to tell the true story because a lot of these are shills. A lot of these reviews are shills and shillery. So it's tough to take them. It's tough to take them too serious. If anything, you take them with a grain of salt. Look through them. Get what you want out of them. That's all I can say for these. I don't take these people very serious. They've never been serious. They've always ran to defend companies and so on and so on. Like here's VG247. So listen to this one. When the credits rolled in The Last of Us 2, I was still buzzing from the excitement of the final few hours. My loyalty shifted between characters. I grew to love who I hated and disliked, who I loved. I laughed, I teared up, I felt anger and elation. It's the new high watermark for video game characters, and I can't wait for everyone to see just how special it is. As soon as it ended, I booted up New Game Plus, and I'm experiencing it again with my eyes open. The context of the finished story and putting new meaning into those early scenes and characters. I'm not swiping in the dark anymore. Basically, this reviewer grew to love the, how do I say this? The new main character who has a mean golf swing and hated that mean old Joel and Ellie. Don't like them anymore. So, not too surprising. These are shills. These are not normal reviewers, right? These people, like I said before, always always defend the company and the game studios, whoever. That's what shills do. They never think about the people because they don't care about you. These are the same people that said the Snyder Cut's bad because it gives fans what they wanted. It sends a new president for fans. Fans must not be listened to. So you have to take it like that. Now, what I do find funny is one of these 3 mixed reviews here. The funny thing about this is one of them is IGN Japan. It's almost the tale of 2 IGNs. Here's American IGN. 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece for the ages. It will go down in history as one of the greatest games ever made. And then you go to IGN Japan. They say like dirty storytelling. Excessive farewell to The Last of Us. Another con that I loved, how to handle new characters. I can only think about the new character with the mean golf swing. That's what they're saying. IGN Japan, a little more honest. They gave it a 7. This game, listen, now, this game is going to sell no matter how we feel about it. It's going to sell a lot. And I expect reviews to be mixed from users somewhat, maybe. I think you're going to see a very split fan base over this game. Some people are going to like it. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to say the combat is good, but the story, really threw them off. Stuff like that. The gameplay mechanics, what I hear from the jump button is that it's like, why is the jump button even in the game? It's useless. You don't even need it in some cases. Remember, there was articles written, it's got a jump button, groundbreaking. I found this hilarious, though. The tale of 2 IGNs. Now, let's head over to another shill site, Polygon. They hate the game. And I was really shocked to see that Polygon hated this game. You know why? The new main character of the game should tell you why they should have loved this game. They didn't like it. Look at the headline for it. The Last of Us 2 review. We're better than this. Did you know murder is wrong? Which is the tale of this game. That was coming out of the spoilers for it and stuff. It's a revenge game. I don't want to get too much into that because I don't want to give away the spoilers to people who actually care about it. But, they talk about a lot of stuff in this review about how, because you take out dogs in this game and it much to make you feel bad about it. Like, another big complaint from a lot of this lines up with some of the stuff the YouTubers were saying. Like, it beats you over the head to make you feel bad about taking out enemies and dogs and stuff, almost to the point where it just becomes a chore to play it. But I was really shocked that Polygon hated it. I can almost do a whole video in itself making fun of how Polygon, and this is a site that Neil Druckmann wanted to please, because remember, Anita Sarkeesian helped advise him and change his ways, and they line right up with Polygon. So it was kind of interesting to me that they hated it. I thought that was absolutely hilarious because they should have loved it. And maybe they will. The review isn't complete yet from what I can tell. I'm not 100% sure if this is their final review because on Metacritic it says in progress. So we'll see what happens. I also want to point out, by the way, that none of these reviewers or websites talked about how Naughty Dog and Sony abused copyright, took down journalists that were talking about the game, tried to silence them with takedowns with their little Muso shell company, and then when that failed, Sony directly did it. Not one website talked about it. In fact, the reason that I'm talking about that at this point is because I'm at the Time review now, and this review loves the game and then directly blasts YouTubers and stuff and does not mention what happened with the copyright stuff and the way that they tried to screw over channels. And that's why I even came to this one, because this tells me Because if you remember, there were some IGN critics on Twitter that were, I have no idea what's going on. I'm utterly clueless to what you're talking about. And then you come to the Time article here, and they directly acknowledge it. Not directly, but they knew what was going on. They knew what was going on. Because here they go, they start praising this stuff about how Ellie has a lady friend. And this character right here, the one with the mean golf swing, they acknowledge stuff that everyone was talking about. But then come down here. Right here. Some toxic YouTubers and Reddit posters have advocated for boycotting the game for a host of suspect reasons. Some are unhappy that they would have to play as a 19-year-old girl that's into girls rather than a grizzled middle-aged man they know and love. That's a lie, number one. Nobody, and I've watched everybody's videos on this, had a problem with playing as Ellie over Joel. In fact, it's kind of the next progression of that's, I think, what everybody expected. Like, okay, it's Ellie's game now. Nobody is mad about that. Maybe there was some dude with 100 subs that whined about it that I never saw or nobody else ever watched. Maybe that's what they're talking about. But as far as any of the bigger channels go, nobody was talking about that. The complaint, and I can't get into it because I don't want to go into spoilers, is what happens to the characters from the original game. That's what people were upset about. No one was upset about Ellie being the main character. Some people were upset about the new character, not because of the identity of the new character. They were mad because of what you do with that character to the old characters. That's what people were upset about. And yes, there is a strong argument to be made that it was done for a political agenda that this Time article likes to point out here. And then they go on to talk about some stuff here that tells me that Time knows what's going on, watched a lot of videos, and decided to ignore what Naughty Dog and Sony did. It's not very ethical, and this really shows just how trash these outlets are. Now, the rest of the show sites didn't mention any of this. Time is the only one that I've seen so far that went as far as to attack YouTubers and call them istophobes for not liking the game's new directions. And then look at this. Go on to talk about Ghostbusters of all things. What does that have to do with this game? Okay. So, yeah, unethical hacks. That's what these people are. You're not going to get an honest review of this game until more YouTubers get it and you start to see user scores. Then you will know where this game truly sits. But this Time article was really disgusting. I'll probably go over this whole thing in a live stream. Maybe tomorrow, I think I will. But for now, I wanted to just do an overview of what's going on, all the stunning and brave reviews, the attacks, the unethical side of these journalists, and so on and so on. So that's what's going on with these reviews. It's up to you. Take them with a grain of salt. This game is probably, from what I saw on this review right here, the best review out of any review I've read or watched by SkillUp. It's a game that beats you emotionally, ruins the first game for SkillUp. It ruined the game for him in a lot of ways. And the mechanics take a step back. The puzzles are gone. They didn't improve puzzles, none of that. It's not a superior game at all. So that's what I got from this. Take it with a grain of salt. It's up to you if you want to play it. You know, if you do want to get it, I understand. That's fine. But this is what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.